Today is Friday, August 11th, 2023, and we are doing Whiteface Passaconaway today. And we're gonna go, we started coming up Dicey's Mill, which is usually the way that we go out. But today we started up it, and we're gonna take Tom Wiggin across. Not recommended steep and loose. This was actually the first way that we ever did Whiteface Passaconaway. It was go Tom Wiggin. I do remember being steep and loose.
Do you remember that sign though? Saying not recommended?
I do remember seeing the sign, yes. And we were like, let's do it. So things are quite wet, as you can see. And there's a water crossing, which can be difficult during high water. So I don't really remember the water crossing. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh. Well, that foot's wet. Let's get on these rocks. There we go. There's a big water crossing. The fungus have been really great. There's a big water crossing on Dicey's Mill, but there's a huge tree, so you can just walk across it. It's just non-stop water today. And, ooh, look at those. Not as cool as I thought they would be. I'm really into the little slime molds and stuff now. So this comes out below the ledgy part on Blueberry Ledge. So we still get to do the fun Terrifying 25 climb. Then we're gonna go across on Rollins to what is that? The top of Dicey's Mill. Take it up to Passaconaway. Then we're gonna take Walden to, shoot, what trail is it? We're gonna end up going out on Old Mast Road. I can't remember what's in between.
Is it Olivarian?
No, you know what? I think it's Walden all the way over. I think it comes to a four-way intersection with, I have to look. Pretty sure that's what it is. So we've only done the top part of Walden and the bottom part of Old Mast Road, so we'll get a couple new trails in. And the wind is pretty high. The temps are not too bad. I don't know what, I think it's supposed to be like mid-60s later in the day on the summits. We had planned to do Wombeck and the Weeks, and we got up this morning and checked the weather again. It was looking pretty rainy all morning up there, so doing this instead, which I think is going to be shorter than the typical up Blueberry Ledge down Dicey's Mill, believe it or not, which is like around 11. I think this is just short of 11. So that's our plan. We were in the parking lot at 7:45. A few other cars there. Not very many. Okay, this is the water crossing. I'm not even positive where it crosses. I think that this is the crossing right through here, and then right there is the trail. John is looking a little further up. The water splits right into a V, so you can do like a rock hop over here, but you still have to get across on the other side. People have walked up further. I'm gonna take off my shoes and just walk across, because why be crazy, right? Right. We're still on Tom Wiggin, and that is Passaconaway right there. The trail right here. A lot of the trail is this kind of loose, gravelly kind of stuff, especially on the steep, which is what it says on the sign. It's a little slippy slidey, although because everything is so waterlogged, it wasn't bad. Looking across, we're going to be walking right along that ridge. over to Passaconaway. Excuse me. So this trail is 1.1 miles and we are 3/4 of a mile. There was the one water crossing that I waded barefoot across, and then shortly after that there's a brook crossing, and that was not rock hoppable at the trail, but there was a little herd path further upstream, so that's how we did it. And what else? Haven't seen anyone. Haven't seen any garbage, which is nice. Okay, almost to the intersection with Blueberry Ledge. We are up on the ledges now. There's still, I think, one more viewpoint out. It's a little bit higher. So there's Chicorowa and Paugus and Square Ledge and Wanalancet, Passaconaway, out here to the Ossipes and Belknaps, and Sandwich Mountain is over. I guess you can get a view over there, huh? I've never whacked over to there. Let's see. Doo-doo. Don't trip. There's quite a drop off right there, and this is not the spot that John went through, so let's go back up. I was trying to stay on durable surface. How did you get there?
I came through this herd path.
Yeah, I don't want to walk out there. That looks pretty cool right there, though.
That's a good picture.
Well, did you take a horizontal one?
I took a vertical pan out.
Okay.
What do you want me to take?
I don't know, take a horizontal one and I'll put it at the end of this video so we can all see what it looks like. I can see Sandwich Mountain in the distance, and the edge of Whiteface is looking pretty cliffy right in front of John. Okay. It's a little bit hazy. Not too bad. And overcast though. So there should be a view right up on that ledge. We should be able to see, well, pretty much the same thing. So there's Tremont in the kind of in the mid-ground, and behind that should be the Presidentials, and they are in a cloud. Over there are the Wildcats and Carters. Okay, I'm gonna kill this. We are now at the summit of Whiteface, which we came from there. It's got a pretty decent sized cairn today on the side of the trail. And then we continue on the Rollins Trail that way to get, the next thing is the intersection with Dicey's Mill. And it's like miles away from here. So we are up at the Camp Rich tent site, which we have finally located after, this is my 12th time hiking Passaconaway, and I have not seriously looked for it. I've looked for it almost every single time.
Our map shows it someplace else.
Or, yeah, Gaia shows it like at the intersection of Dicey's Mill and Rollins, which it's not there. In any case, this is the toilet, which is awesome because I love to be outside instead of in a little dark spider infested place. It is a steep climb uphill to get to it, but I'm okay with that. Privacy. And then you come down. So I think that this tent site used to have a shelter at it, maybe, just like there's a area up near the summit of Whiteface that also was a campsite, and I think they removed stuff from there too. I don't know if that actually ever had one, but We got this little trail. Right here, there's a sign that says toilet. Right there.
There's an arrow up there too.
There's an arrow. Oh yeah, I didn't see it either. There's an arrow on the tree behind John. You turn and go up the hill. When you come out here, there's a fire ring here. It's a bit wet. Everything is very wet. They've had a lot of rain. But then back here, looks like there's plenty of spots, even like way back. So this is located when you're coming up to the summit of Passaconaway, and there's a water, I mean, it's always there. There's water that you could fill up at. I think that, to me, that's like the only water source, even though there's lots of wetness all the time. So now we're back on the trail, and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is there's a water bar. I'm gonna go down and then come up a little bit. So right down around the corner, there's the water that you cross. You come up here, there's like a little step out through there, or there's a water bar right here, and where John is stepping, there's another step out, and they just go right out. So there you have it, Camp Rich. I'm very excited about the toilet. This is the little outlook right before you get to the summit of Passaconaway. So it looks like Franconia Ridge is pretty much in the clear. Lafayette is just kissing the cloud in and out. Garfield looks clear. Right in front of me are the Tri-Pyramids, and then the sleepers this way. Osceola's behind there. Okay, we're very close to the summit. Treed in summit, nothing to see there. And then we're gonna go have lunch at the top of the Walden Trail. This is the rock right at the top of the Walden Trail before you start descending, and that's a nice view of Chicorowa. That dark cloud above it, looking pretty ominous. But we're in the sun right now. Out here, way in the distance is the Carters, and then if I come over, see that? Maybe you can see this whole cloudy bit in here is the presidentials. So not a good place to be today. It was super windy a minute ago. Now we got nothing. Chicorowa is always fun and beautiful mountain. We are still on the Walden Trail, but the top part of it is very steep descending. And now we are after the split that goes out to Square Ledge and Passaconaway Cutoff. And this is like really nice, soft footbed, interesting woods, lovely. And then this is going to come to a junction with Wanalancet Range Trail. And we've gone down that way twice, but we've never done the section of Walden that keeps going. So we're going to do that little section before we hook up with Old Mast Road. So that's what it's looking like. Beautiful. Haven't seen anybody on this. There was somebody came up it right as we were eating lunch. One person. But there's a butterfly, a comma just took off. Alright. Oh, this is the nicest trail we've had all day. For sure. This is the junction of Walden Trail. We just came from there. And Wanalancet Range Trail, which we've taken a couple times, and as you can see on the sign, it goes back to Ferncroft. We are going to continue on Wanalancet to the four-way junction About 2/10 of a mile from here is the summit of Wanalancet Hedgehog, which is just like a big boulder on the side of the trail. And then right after that, there's a spur that goes out to a view. So we're gonna go look at that. And if you should ever come up this way, descending off of Passaconaway on the Walden Trail, right through there, it's a steep climb before it levels out right here. Just keep looking to the left and there's a view to Tremont and Mount Washington, the other presidentials. Washington is still in a cloud, so nothing really to see there. You can see Tremont, but anyway, there is a view there. Okay, so we're gonna go, this is now a new trail for us. We're gonna head out to the four-way junction. We've been to that junction before, but not on this. So here we go. We are up on Wanalancet Hedgehog now. The summit is just a large boulder on the side of the trail. And then shortly after that, we encountered a spur path that's in the White Mountain Field Guide that instructs you to come out to a viewpoint. So this is it, and it's looking right at the Ossipee. So Mount Shaw is the highest thing right in the center, kind of pointy. And then to the side here, it's kind of hazy, but out there is Mount Clem. So that's the Belknaps. And the view is actually a wet, slippery rock. It looks like it just goes off a cliff. So it's not a great viewpoint. You wouldn't want to sit here and have lunch. Like, I don't know. Maybe if it were dry, you would.
Dangerous to go out there.
It looks super dangerous. So this is Wanalancet Hedgehog. We are at the second outlook, little spur herd path thing that is mentioned in the White Mountain Guide. And this is looking at Paugus and Square Ledge, and then just a bump of Chicorowa sticking up right there. And I don't know, is that Kearsarge North in the distance? I think. In any case, this is really nice. It's got an open ledge and a down tree that's like a perfect seat height. It's not quite angled the right way, but it's pretty good. You can sit here and enjoy yourself. And it's very, very tricky to see. So if you are coming up from the four-way junction, you'll be climbing, and then you'll get to a big open slab, which I'll show you because we're not going that way. We're coming down it, and we went down the slab, and then we were going to keep walking, and I said, wait, there's another view someplace, and it actually was at the top of the slab. So it looks like you could come right through from the top of the slab. But we had already gone down, and then we had to come back up, and now I have to go down again. So let me just, this is the slab over here. It's wet where I am and very slippery. So, okay, come through. Somebody has done some brushing work out here, which is nice. So the trail comes right along the edge of this slab and then comes down. And we went down on that side of it, but now we're on the opposite side of it. So we're just gonna hug the edge where there's roots. But that's the trail right there. So when you get to this giant slabby rock, you might be able to go back up and then cut across. I think I saw a herd path up there. So anyway, that's a really nice view. I think that's a better view than the last one. And now we're gonna go down there, and when you turn the corner, it's just straight down. Well, it's not straight down.
A stone, it goes all the way down to the car.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, we have made it to the junction. So with Old Mast Road, and we just got done with Walden Trail. Now, what would I say about Walden Trail? It is a difficult trail. It's steep. We were descending it. It took a long time. And there's a couple sections where you're like, oh, this is nice. nice footbed. This is really nice. And then you go back into the really steep decline with erosion and water and slippery rock. And yeah, it's not the greatest trail, but it's a nice area. I like where it takes you. And that last bit after the viewpoint, it went down quite steeply, then it leveled off, and then we got to a point that is mentioned in the guide that says you're gonna encounter a broken ledge, and it's a tricky climb. It definitely was a tricky descent. It was very wet today. I don't know if it's normally like that, but it actually ended up not being as bad as I thought it would be, and I think it would be okay to climb. It's sort of like a broken ledge, and like there's footholds and
They're
little
about 3 inches deep.
Yeah, I mean they're big enough to get half your foot on at least. And it reminded me of like the Hillary Step or whatever they call it when you're going up to Bondcliff, that one little section where, yeah, I mean it's steep. And you don't want it to be icy and rocky and icy and wet, but it is like steps, and it's kind of like that. So I came down it backwards, just like backing down a ladder, kind of. Not a problem. Now we are on Old Mast Road, which is new for us, so I'm kind of looking forward to it being an easier trail, which I believe it will be. It's called Old Mast Road because at least the lower part of it was a road, and they used it to remove very tall trees that the British Navy had purchased to use as masts in their boats. So I'm anticipating it becoming wider shortly. We are almost to the end of Old Mast Road now, and as you can see, it really does look like a road. Super easy walking. Very quiet. We just saw one person who was going up on Old Mast, kind of late in the day. I got the feeling he was just kind of a local guy out for a walk, but yeah, so no people on Walden, no people on Dicey's this morning, no people on Tom Wiggin, and really we saw a few people mostly over at Passaconaway going up to Passaconaway, or they were coming down instead of doing the loop. So it was a super quiet day, which is nice. And I see a sign right here. I think that the end of the Wanalancet Range Trail is coming down. It comes down from up there, I think, because we pick up the bottom of Old Mast after coming down a hill. So I'm pretty sure that the sign... Oh wait, what's that? Oh, is that Kelly? Let's see. Old Mast Road. All right, so we're only 0.3. Yep, Kelly Trail. All right, great hike. I am at like 10.8. It's 0.3 from here. So we should be a little over 11. Excellent. One final video because this is so amazing. Look at how big these are. Let me put my foot in there. This is probably a foot across. Look at that. Wow. I think that they're related to those, what are they called? I took a picture of them last hike out to 13 Falls. They're like, what do they call those chanterelles? They're not actually a chanterelle. They're like fuzzy chanterelles or something like that.
I don't remember.
Not edible. But this one is crazy, and it's not orange, so I'm not really sure. Maybe when they get bigger, it's just so crazy. Look at how big those things are. Okay. Wow, here's my hand. Huge.